And welcome in, everybody, to a Thursday edition of Birds 365 here on JAKIB Sports. I'm your host, Zander Krause. That's my co-host, John McMullen, here with you live for a Thursday edition of the show. We got a great show planned for you today. It'll be a little bit of a draft day here on Birds 365. We got the great Rick Saratella coming up in a little bit in hour number one. Johnny Mac, how you doing on this Thursday morning, my friend?
All drafted up, man. Let's get it going. With Rick Saratella, NFL Draft Bible. Talk a little Caleb Downs. Talk a little Jeremiah Love. Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, Mendoza, Johnny Mac. We'll see what happens with the NFL draft coming up. John, anything particular jumping out about the draft this year for you, my friend? We got Rick coming up. We're going to talk to him. We got the Combine kicking off next week. The Underwear Olympics, as they're now widely regarded as. But anything sticking out to you in this draft season so far? Anything excite you about the potential of what will unfold in the next 60, 90 days?
Well, I've been mentioning, and we'll talk to Rick and get his feeling, but, wide receivers all over the place. So, a lot of things have to happen for that to be relevant for the Eagles. But even if they bring A.J. Brown back, which I believe is the goal, you're still going to have to replace Jahan Dotson in a role that should be at least projected to be more meaningful under Sean Mannion in a Kyle Shanahan-like offense. Might not work out that way, but that's what you're building toward. So it could be relevant on day two, and you should have a bunch of guys to pick from, tight ends as well. You might have to remake the tight end room now. Evidently Dallas Goedert's open to returning, so that's interesting as well. So what does that contract look like at 31 years old? I don't know. Can they go much higher than 10 million? I don't know. Did he earn more than 10 million? I would think so. 13 touchdowns? I would think so. So that might be a market situation. And obviously, if you don't bring back Dallas Goedert, then you got to remake that whole room. Let's be honest. I mean,
yeah, completely.
Kylan Granson was such a good special teams player last year. I wouldn't mind bringing him back on a 1-year deal for the veteran minimum to be the third tight end and help on special teams. But you can't run it back with Grant Calcaterra, I don't think, at this stage. So if you don't have both of them, and everybody in that group is a free agent, a pending free agent, it's going to be a lot different at tight end. And maybe that's the way the Eagles want to go, because they don't have a lot of wiggle room to make big changes on that offense from a personnel perspective. And they might have to. On the offensive line, wide receiver, tight end. It's going to be an offensive tinted draft. I'm pretty comfortable saying that.
You mean for the Eagles, right?
Yes.
Yeah, not just that overall. Well, it's going to be interesting, John. I mean, that Goddard stuff is definitely definitely something that could or could not happen. But what do you think the Eagles should do there? You think they should try and bring him back, or is that time to turn the page and get your future tight end?
Well, they need to get a future tight end either way. Obviously, it would be a short-term answer, and I'm surprised they didn't try to get it last year after everything that went on, because there was the perception was he was going to be leaving for the majority of the time, right up until he acquiesced and took the pay cut. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't start it last year. You think about, when Zach Ertz was here and they drafted Dallas in the second round, you had that succession plan in place. You don't have that now, and you're up against it. So either way, I think they got to add a meaningful body at tight end, or try to add a meaningful body, whether that's in the draft or free agency. But they got more needs than usual. At least over the past, 4 years or so. They have more to do than they usually have to do. And that obviously means you probably can't get it all done. So we'll see how they swing it.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, his market value, John. Now these companies, I don't know how to tell whether they're even close or not, but it's lower. On the website it says like 7+. I think it says 7.5 million on Spotrac.
What these guys? I got to get Spielberger back, man.
Off. I mean, I think they do some good work though. I see them on. I see the main guy from Spotrac on X a lot. I mean, it feels like they're plugged in and have a good. Doesn't mean they are, but it feels like they are. Let me look it up just to make sure I'm accurate for you. But market value, yeah, wow, even worse. Market value is 1 year, $6 million.
Well, if they can get him for 1 year, $6 mil. Yeah, I'd bring him back.
I'm doing that. Yeah, me too.
So
that can't be the money though.
I don't know. It seems maybe it's me. I don't pay as much attention to that stuff as other people do, but I don't. Everything seems low to me. Everything. Jalen Phillips at 17.3 is ridiculous. That's like okay. That's like you're not adding in the context of, ESPN just ranked him as the third best free agent on the market in the lack of available options past Jalen Phillips on the free agent market and his age. It's like, all right, if you just looked at him and didn't know all that and said, yeah, all right, he's worth about 17 million, then maybe I agree with it. But that doesn't take into account the reality of the world. I mean, what are we doing here? 1 year, 6 million. If these are right, I get everybody back. Bring everybody back. They got Jalen Carter at 21 million. Because I just pulled this up. And Jordan Davis at 20.4 million. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm not picking on Spot Rack, but are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, I am. And don't get me wrong, they do a great job with contracts and the numbers and the information of the actual contracts. But I'm going to recommend deleting that link because those values are goofy.
Well, we'll see what ends up happening, Johnny Mac. It is interesting to see the numbers. Maybe are we inflating them too much, John? Is there a chance we're wrong?
Well, there's always a chance you're wrong. If Jalen Phillips gets 17 million on the open market, I will be shocked.
Yeah,
I will be shocked.
I don't even think that's possible.
If Jordan Davis is within $1 million, if they both sign extensions, and Jordan Davis is within $1 million of Jalen Carter, under $1 million, basically 500,000, I might have a heart attack. That I'm 100% sure of. Barring off the field issues, Jalen's got some issues sometimes, but mainly due to maturity. But you get the point, just from a football standpoint. Because of his age, Dallas Goedert's a little bit tougher to gauge because people don't want to pay older players. But coming off the year he had, and he's going to go down to 6 million. Yeah, I'm not buying it. Brett, on the other hand, they got Brett Toth at 4 million. I don't know if he's going to go that high. They got Marcus Epps at 3. I think they're going to be more veteran minimum guys. I think Jahan Dotson's going to get more than 1 year and 2.6 again because of the age. Yeah, I don't. Sorry, guys. I don't value that. It's too goofy.
Agreed. We'll see what they end up doing. John, a little bit of Eagle news happened yesterday. Another defensive coach departed, this time to the Las Vegas Raiders. What can you tell us, J-Mac?
Yeah, Rennell Williams, Eagles defensive assistant for the last 3 years. So he was here the year before Vic got here. Actually started out as the Nichols coach. They had a slot coach specifically. And that was Rennell. Played at Westchester, by the way. Great player at Westchester locally. And he started out as the Nichols coach. And then when Vic got here, they moved him to assistant linebackers coach. He also quality control. So sort of a double rule. He had interviewed for the Cowboys linebackers job with Christian Parker down there now. Didn't get it. And got the Raiders linebackers job. So good step forward for him in his career. And obviously there's some guys out there, Anthony Patch and Brandon Hunt went out there from the Eagles personnel department. So he had some familiarity with the guys out there. So, lower level coach that it's not going to resonate with much people, but it looked like the Eagles were permitting him to look for another job. So it's more of that sort of Chris Cooper-like thing where, you don't want to fire the guy, but you want to say, you might want to go out and go look at some other opportunities. So that's kind of how I read that.
Man, the shuffling of the deck this year in the coaching department for all teams is like crazy. I mean, you said it. It's what did you call it? It's like or it's I forget the word.
You just shuffle the deck chairs.
Yeah,
it goes
shuffle
from
the
team
deck
to
chairs,
team.
right.
That's
literally what it's been.
Yeah, it's like that every year, though. It's a little bit, especially with position coaches, it's a little bit increased this year because you had so many changes at the top, and that reverberates because when you hire head coaches, they generally want to bring in as many people as they can that they're comfortable with. So you had 10 openings, and that sort of reverberates down. So it's a little bit more, but it's always this way. It's always this way. And that's why, like again, I don't want to pick on specific guys, but you just see the guys that move from station to station, and they move from 2 to 3 year increments. It's a tough profession because you're going to get blamed. It's not just Philadelphia. You're going to get blamed when the players don't perform, and you're not out there performing. So, you could be the belle of the ball one year like Press Taylor, and then you're the dumbest guy on the planet the next year. That's the way it works. Tough gig.
Yeah, it is a tough gig. No doubt about it. Interesting stuff there, John. With Rick Saratella coming up, John, we're going to talk to him in about a couple minutes here on Birds 365. It's going to be interesting to see the draft process this year, John, with the needs that they have and, the available guys. How do you see free agency? Do you think they make a splash in free agency this year? Doesn't feel like they need to. I mean, unless Jalen Phillips walks, it really doesn't feel to me like maybe like a middle corner guy, like a $6 to $10 million corner I could see as cornerback too. But that's really all I see. What do you see in free agency right now for what the Eagles could end up spending there?
Yeah, I think it's going to be more movement, and some of it might be trades. Again, you have to handle the in-house business first. So you got to figure out what you're doing with AJ, figure out what you're doing with Jalen Phillips, and then it reverberates down from there. Both for free agency and the draft. So it's not just like one or the other, but I do think there'll be more. They tend to be, if you look at their history, they go to the Super Bowl, they lose, you kind of take the foot off the gas a little bit, and they have a down year. Then you go back to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. The urgency was way down after they won the Super Bowl. And now they had a 5-win season, and that's my shtick. I don't know if Rick's getting it. They act like they had a 5-win season, and you have all this, urgency. And I think you will have this urgency. How that manifests itself, whether it's trades, they don't sign Jalen Phillips, they might go try to get Max Crosby. If if they trade AJ Brown, they might go try to get a more relevant receiver. So, but I think the in-house stuff comes first.
You think Mike Evans is an option as
No,
a temporary replacement for AJ?
no.
If AJ's out?
Sometimes I hate Philadelphia, man. And Mike Evans is a Hall of Fame player. Mike Evans is, I got to look it up.
He's like 32, I think.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Well, who you going to replace AJ Brown with if AJ
You're
Brown's
not, first of all, you're not going to replace AJ.
That's what I mean. So you're going to go to the draft? I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you need to get somebody that's good body that can make catches, make plays.
In theory, you're going to, and he's going to be 33, which is the key number before September. So it's going to be his age 33 season. He's not coming here. He's going to finish in Tampa, but beyond that,
I don't know. I'm hearing from John Cilia works down in Tampa. He said that nobody in Tampa thinks he's going to be in Tampa.
Well, that's fine. I also heard people say he's never snipped a Super Bowl. I don't want to. I mean, yeah. A lot of people talk about things they shouldn't be talking about.
Yeah,
but
very true.
And the standpoint of the Eagles, they're not going to bring in a 33-year-old wide receiver. They're not. Even
I just think as a temporary, I mean, somebody like that makes more sense to me than putting all your eggs in the draft pick basket.
Well, they're putting all their eggs in the change of the offense, and they're going to go about it a different way. If they trade AJ, all their eggs are in AJ's basket.
Yeah, that's true. I think they want AJ back. Like D Gun said, you've been saying it for a long time here on the show. Good stuff. We'll see what they end up doing. Johnny Mack is out on my